So all the animation studios are already using AI. They're just not saying anything about it because they don't want to get canceled on Blue Sky. Apparently.
That's, yeah, because Blue Sky's crazy.
Yeah. They don't want their peers to cancel them. This is the same with, look at what's going on in tabletop gaming, right? Everybody's just kind of doing their thing, and then every once in a while, there'll be some controversy about a piece of art and be like, well, this looked like it might have been AI. And then you got to get a whole big formal apology and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, for every one gaming developer or studio that gets busted, there's like 30 other ones that are using it. They just did a better job of hiding it, right? Mm. They're all using it. We had people coming to us like a year ago saying, hey, just so you know, all the animation studios, yeah, they're totally using it. And if you've got a Western animation studio outsourcing work overseas, the place they're outsourcing to, they're using it. They're just not telling the Western studio.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't get caught.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They're going to use it no matter what. It's not going away. It's going to be used as a tool, like it or hate it. It is the way it is going to be. It's the fact of the matter.
Yeah. So, and then we have a lot of studios are like, we promise not to use AI. No, what they do, look at how they word it, especially with tabletop gaming like Hasbro's. Like, we promise the final product won't go out the door without human review. That means we're totally going to use AI. We're just going to make sure we look at it and fix it before it goes out.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
they're going to find creative ways to word it so they're thinking they can trick you and you don't know.
Animation is hella expensive. It's incredibly expensive. So they're going to, and right now in Japan, they're having a real crisis with finding enough animators who want to basically work for, slave wages under horrible conditions in a lot of cases.
Again, it sucks and we don't agree with it, but it is what it is.
And so of course they're going to look to cut corners, save as much money as they can. I read before that the reason that the anime looks so bad now compared to previous years is that there's such a demand for anime that they can't keep up, so they're cutting corners wherever they can. And this is part of how they're going to do it. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And this is another episode of I Told You So.
That's what we're just change the name.
Just change the name of the channel to I Told You So. Yeah. So this is the Jujutsu Kaisen director, Terumi Nishi, saying that they're absolutely everybody's using it. And Aniplex claims they're not using it, and he's like, nah, they're lying. They just don't want to get caught. They don't want to get caught.
Wait, so there's people are saying that they're lying, or you're saying they're lying?
I'm saying they're lying. So this is his original post.
We don't know that, by the way, but
Okay, so this is the director. He said various companies have already widely adopted practices such as developing storyboards in the style of specific artists or using generative AI to generate rough drafts for directorial revisions. For that matter, even if Aniplex were to declare they didn't use it, could the production studios commissioned to do the actual work really afford to stop using it, especially when they are already paying fees to tech companies for access? After all, Aniplex belongs to the camp that advocates for developing generative AI to produce more anime. They're a manufacturing enterprise, not a collective of creators. Consequently, their claims lack a certain degree of credibility. Fundamentally, it seems they simply do not have a firm grasp of how the production committee system actually operates.
So this person's saying they're lying too.
Yeah. So, and Aniplex is part of Sony. And here's the thing. It is to pretty much everybody outside of the US, animation is an industry, and they have certain benchmarks they have to hit, and they've got a certain amount of content they got to produce. And if you can use a tool to cut down on the amount of time or man hours you have to pay for to get that thing out the door, to ship that product, because that's what it is to them, product. I'm not saying you can't have individual people working on the shows or whatever that are impassioned about it, but to the bosses, it is product that needs to be shipped.
Oh, it's even worse over there, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Like you off like you have to have a whole plan of how you're going to merchandise it and everything else. From the way it sounds, with things we've heard before,
it's a business.
It's big business.
And you look at the Western animation, you look at, people are like, well, I just had a feeling I had to tell my story and use hundreds of millions of dollars of the company's money to tell my story. And even when you've got Pete Docter from Pixar literally saying we're not paying for your therapy anymore, you know things are pretty bad. Because in Japan, they'd be like, yeah, how many waifu knickknacks can we sell? Let's create a new freaking the rebuild of Evangelion. They put Mari Illustrious, whatever the fuck her name was. They put the girl with the glasses in the rebuild of Evangelion because they wanted another girl to merchandise.
Probably. I didn't watch.
No, that's exactly why she was there.
I believe you.
Yeah,
and knowing how they are, I completely believe you.
Like, we only got 2 girls. If we had 3, that's more fat material, and we'll sell.
Because it has more body pillows.
It's more body pillows. That's because the stuff that sells the freaking Rey and Asuka figurines, and then they get to roll out some new robot designs, and that shit pays for it. Like Evangelion is a money making machine, even though the anime is relatively short, because people buy the merchandise. So yeah, I mean, they're like, you know what? Fuck your vision. Put another girl in it so we got more product. That's basically it. That's the story I heard. And she really didn't have a purpose for being there, to tell you the truth, other than to,
more product.
More product, right? So yeah, this is coming from CBR, and they're shocked. Shocked, I tell you, that they're using oh my God, guys, I can't believe it. And they're going to get smarter about hiding it. It's the same with the video game companies, right? But I'm also like, who the hell has all the time in the world to go through every area?
You'd be surprised.
Every area of a video game to look for still images in the background that may or may not be AI generated.
They will. They will, because they literally have nothing to do except sit there, or they're unemployed animators and they're bored and they're like, oh shit, I'm mad. And so they're gonna go through everyone to do gotcha moments. But as the time goes on, I think it's gonna be a case of, one, it's gonna be harder to tell, and 2, it's gonna be so standard that it's just gonna be a place where like, oh well, don't care. Because they did the same kind of things when digital art became a thing.
Yeah,
they totally did the same stuff then. I mean, it wasn't like as much, because it wasn't have social media like it does now. And you know what? Look, now no one thinks anything of it. It sucks. And I'm not a big fan of AI. It is what it is. And it's going to be, it's not going away anytime soon. It's just not.
And you're not, so again, take the artsy fartsy bullshit out of the equation. And this is coming from an artist, right? But I'm telling you right now, this is not how these companies think. It's not how these studios think. Maybe in LA and Burbank, this is how they think, but I guarantee you the people that actually control the money are like, ship the fucking product. If there's
the more you can get out, the more money they can make.
Right. And the more likely you are to keep your job, because this thing didn't cost as much, it made more profit, right? And if all of your competitors are using it, it's basically everybody's on steroids except for you. Do you have any chance whatsoever of staying competitive? No. And people be like, but at least my soul is clean. At least I feel good about myself. I'm like, well, you can feel good about yourself putting the fries in the bag.
I said the bank doesn't take I feel good about myself as an excuse.
They don't. They don't.
Here's the thing. It's like the other flip side of this could be, if they can use less people and they make more faster with AI, that means they could do more shows. So that might mean that the same amount of people will get hired. It'll just be across 3 shows instead of 1.
Yeah.
Something like that, so they can get, way more done. But they might be able to offer more opportunities, because on different projects, because they can do more simultaneously.
My hope with AI, again, being an advocate of AI being used as a tool, not a complete replacement, but a tool, is that maybe these poor, overworked Japanese animators will actually be able to have a life and be able to go home at a decent time and not have to work their ass off. Like I was watching.
They'll still be
they'll just do 2 or 3 times as many shows. Yeah. They won't get more money. Yeah, I know.
I mean, they need to raise the pay, but they aren't going to do that.
And again, just Western creators have no idea how awful the working conditions are. They really don't. And even the Western quote unquote animation people, they're outsourcing most of the day-to-day animation to overseas sweatshops. And they're like, well, we've got all kinds of health insurance and everybody's done at 5 o'clock and we get weekends and mental health days. And I'm like, yeah, because you pawn the work off onto somebody else overseas who doesn't get that. Mm-hmm. And then you sit back and take all the credit for their work. Basically, you came up with the basic idea, but they're the ones who actually made it go. and you get all your fist bumps and whatever, and it's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. But there is more of a demand for anime and animation now than there's ever been, and they cannot keep up. We have a lot of young people smartly in Japan avoiding the industry because of how they overwork you. So they're just like, so if it can help with that, fantastic. But yeah, the executives, they're just going to look at it and be like, oh, okay, so we can basically do 2 or 3 shows for the same amount of money as we could do one show. Okay, that's cool. We'll do that. We'll just do that.
More merchandise.
More merchandise. Put more waifus in it. So yeah, the AMA added that while corporate executives are likely aware of the shift to AI, they intentionally keep their AI usage confidential because they know it will cause significant public stir.
You can't do anything right now with it without people having a meltdown.
Oh, it's a her. I didn't know it was a her. Her observations align with, oh, I think I got wrong. I thought it was a him. I'm sorry. Her observations align with recent developments in the anime industry. Several prominent animation studios have already begun testing the waters, seeking ways to integrate artificial intelligence to streamline their production process. For instance, Toei and several others have invested in AI research and development in order to boost their operational efficiency. Again, be very clear. It's not replacing a lot of people. It's making things more efficient. You still need creators. If any
company tells you they're not using it, they're lying.
They're lying.
You're using it in some way. I guarantee you. They're using it in some way to do something.
Yes. And all these people that are all like, we're taking a stand against AI. I'm like, maybe individuals in the company are, but I guarantee you the bean counters are just looking at, hey, we can, spend a couple $100 a month or a couple $1,000s a month in credits, and that's cheaper than hiring more people.
Well, I mean, on the flip side of this is somebody, I'm looking at this stuff. I personally think it's shit for the fact that, at least over here, they keep trying to build these data centers and they're going to find a way to make us pay for them to run their companies here with tax breaks and shit so they can make more money, take our jobs away and ruin the environment. And we're supposed to pay them to do it for the honor of doing it. So honestly, in my opinion, AI blows, but that's
we can put the data centers on the moon. We're going back to the moon. Put them on the dark side of the moon where nobody can see them.
There you go.
But yeah, they said it's already here. It's already found its way into the manga industry. It's going to be normal for translations to be AI translated. Twitter, X is, we've seen the barrier between Japanese and English, posters disappear because of the AI translation. It's here, guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And holding your breath until you turn blue in the face, all it's going to do for you as a creative is incentivize the companies to let you go because you're not on board with the new reality. And we saw this happen with digital art too. The exact same thing happened. People were not willing to transition to digital art or use Photoshop or use tablets or switch over from 2D to 3D animation. And they basically got pushed out of the industry.
Pretty much.
It's as simple as that. All I care about is money.
Evolution, and sadly.
Yeah.
But the digital stuff there isn't going to do as much damage as the AI. But here we are.
This is it. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.